India has been the largest contributor of UN peacekeeping. During the pandemic, India helped 150 countries with medicines, and during the G20 summit, India worked under the theme One Earth, One Family and One Future. Even this year, India continued to choose peace. We did all witness the terrible terrorist attack. India started Operation Sindoor, not to attack the civilians in Pakistan, but the terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan. India chose peace, which was more important. This week, as I speak, India was in the UN and they were participating actively in International Day of Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. Why? To emphasize its commitment to global nuclear disarmament, to create public awareness, and to reiterate no first use. I'm proud to say I belong to a country, or I was raised in a country, where we didn't start any war since history. So all these actions which I just read out demonstrates India's actions towards Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all assigned 10 minutes. I just spoke 2 minutes now. So in the 8 minutes, I was thinking, what do I want to tell you? We all know problems exist, but I really would love and dream still of a very peaceful and nice world. Why? Because I think one thing in common among you and me is we all want to leave a great legacy for our children and children's children. So the next 8 minutes, I promise to enlighten you with my ideas. I will start with problems of human society. The day we are born, we are unequal. Some born in royal families, some in rich families, some in middle class families, and some in poor families. Why is this important? Because money is dividing us. We do have economic divides, which also causes us not to treat each other as family. So my first solution is every country head should come together and find a method how we can avoid wealth concentration. My second suggestion is how governments around the world can ensure jobs for everyone so that everybody is employed and busy with doing something constructive. And the most important is every citizen of the world should have a bank account. So financial inclusion is one of the mantras which even Queen Maxima has been propagating as UN ambassador to the world. And I would say this is a method to achieve peace around the world. We may get, say, economic divides reduced by financial inclusiveness, but we still are going to be divided. Let's talk about the other divides. We have different types of governments in different parts of the world. We have democratic government, we have socialist government, and we have communist government. We are getting increasingly divided on politics. We are experiencing more hate crimes. What do we need to do? We need to have one government structure across the world. If this doesn't happen, the world will continue to stay divided. What else do we need? We need to ensure every politician should be high qualified and with high standards. What I mean by here is just like you and I get a job based on qualification, screening, examination, I think it's high time we request the same standards for the politicians as well. They need to be accountable and need to report not only on their performance and goals, but also their behavior. This is very, very important to have a public role. And then comes the voting system. Yeah, we right now vote where leaders come before every election and say that these are the promises they're going to do if they're in power. This needs to change. We need to vote on the track record of the politician and not on those media campaigns or political canvassing just prior to election. My next suggestion is every every political person, and I mean in every country, needs to become the father figure of the family. And what I mean by that is each politician should take an oath not to start a war. And if there is any escalation, to deal with the escalation on highest priority, and to protect not only citizens of their country, but the citizens of the world. We need to ensure world media houses promote, propagate narratives to increase brotherhood and sisterhood. There are border divides. We are divided by borders. We are experiencing civil war. We are experiencing geopolitical tensions. We are seeing more protests on the street. I would like to say India and Europe have one thing in common, our unity in diversity. The European Union has shown the world that we can unite across borders. We can unite despite bad histories, by forming common institutions, by transacting in same currency, and most importantly, by believing in the same values. So my next solution is that we should, as a world, have common values, and not only have the common values, but walk the talk on those values. We should have one currency, and we should establish an organization, you can call it the family organization, who will stop every war, who will stop every escalation, and who will ensure if there are victims of war, they are healed and not left for self-healing. This month in the Netherlands, for example, we celebrate the Burendag, which means Neighborhood Day. I hope in my lifetime I can see the world celebrate this unique festival of Burendag, where we not only celebrate this with our neighbors in the cities we live in, but countries also celebrate it with their neighbors. We do be divided on color, on caste, on religion. How do we end that? I think it's high time that we have global citizen mandatory training for all. And what I mean here, we need to teach humanity is more important than caste and religion. We need to teach us to become global citizens rather than stick to narrow identities. We need to teach behaviors, to think of each other's well-being, to think about and act in empathy, to ensure harmony not only at home but in the neighborhood, to be respectful in our communication, to respect public property, to learn constructive criticism, and I can go on. But just to give an indication, this is something we need to relearn and teach our children, next generation. And for doing all this successfully, all countries need to take action together equally. Say we did overcome the economic divide, the religion divide, the caste divide, the political divide, and the border divide. But we are still different. We are born unique. We just heard Sadhguruji talking about inner engineering or inner peace. I strongly believe inner peace is important for outer peace. And I would like to remind everybody, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's gift to the world, that is yoga. We all know yoga helps in the healing of body, mind, and soul. Before I end, I want to mention these are all utopian ideas. We all need to dream of an ideal world. We all need to dream of a perfect world. The ideas are just the beginning, but it needs to be well researched. It needs to be well discussed for us to realize it in our lifetime. And I would like to end with a small exercise. So I request you all to hold the hands of people on the left and right side and give them a smile and repeat after me. Everyone, whether you know the person or not, please hold hands, left and right, and give a smile. Should we start? Yeah. I would like to say, peace starts with us. So let's practice what we preach. Please repeat after me. Let's educate everyone on earth to act as one family. Let's educate everyone. And let the action begin with me. Let's educate everyone on earth to act as one family. And let's live in harmony. Let's educate everyone on earth to act as one family. So we all leave a great legacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.